Is this normal? It's probably nothing serious. Maybe I'll feel better tomorrow.
Emergency symptoms can be good at hiding. That's why you shouldn't ignore symptoms like chest pain, high fever, trouble breathing, or severe stomach pain. They could be a medical emergency in disguise. Thankfully, an Eastside ER is ready to serve you 24/7 with fast wait times and dedicated ER experts, so we can quickly help turn your questions into answers. Visit eastsidemedical.com.
Broadcasting live from the Subaru of Gwinnett studio inside the Sonesta Gwinnett Place Atlanta Hotel. It's time for Gwinnett Business Radio. Gwinnett Business Radio is cared for by Eastside Medical Center, providing quality care to Gwinnett County and the greater Atlanta area for over 38 years.
And hello again, everybody, and welcome to Gwinnett Business Radio. We're broadcasting live from the Subaru of Gwinnett studio in the beautiful Sonesta Gwinnett Place Atlanta Hotel. I am Mike Salmon alongside Amanda Pearch. Good morning, Amanda.
Good morning, Mike.
We are excited about today's show. You are all dressed up because it's Halloween.
It's a spooktacular edition today.
That was for you.
Thank you very much.
We got some great guests here in the studio, but before I tell you who we have, let me remind you that Eastside Medical Center cares for Business RadioX. Quality care close to home. Eastside Medical Center has been a community health care leader for over 39 years. Going on 40 years now. Nationally recognized for patient safety, Eastside focuses on delivering quality care with exceptional outcomes by using the most advanced technology and experienced physicians. For more information on Eastside's system of care, visit eastsidemedical.com. And joining us in the studio today, we have a couple companies, and we have two representatives from each company. So we've got a very
full house
today. Joining us from SERVPRO is Lori Mullee and J. Smith. And here from Maestral Solutions is Luisa Pineda and Frank Torres. We're going to start with SERVPRO, though. Lori and Jay, welcome to the program.
Good morning. Thank you.
Lori and Jay, the company is SERVPRO. Jay, you are the first responder emergency response coordinator.
Correct.
And Lori, you're the commercial marketing director.
That's right.
Well, tell us about SERVPRO and what your company does.
SERVPRO has been in business for now over 50 years, probably the most in the business. We are a full-service restoration company, the SERVPRO of Norcross, SERVPRO of Duluth. So if you have some type of disaster, not only if you have a fire, water, loss, biohazard, we come in and we can clean everything up, get you started fresh, and we also have a complete reconstruction department. Obviously, restoration is the first priority, but when things need to be replaced, we have a full general contractor's license and are able to do that also.
SERVPRO is the name of the company, and we just found out what you guys do. There are other companies out there that are restoration companies and do the services you provide as well. What makes you guys a little different from your competitors out there?
I'll jump in on that one. We go the extra mile. For one thing, we have what's called an emergency ready profile. It's a free app that we can place on one's phone or, the front desk, the concierge, the manager, the property manager, whatnot. It's no cost. It's a mobile app. It makes you recover for disaster quicker and faster. My tagline I like to say is, please wake me up. We are a 24-hour service. This can happen. A lot of times it happens at 1 or 2 in the morning. These people panic. Everybody panics. So when we have this plan in place, it lets us know where all the valves are, the cutoffs, where our big green ugly trucks are going to park, where our big equipment, we can place it. We know where we can go, where we can park. Again, this just calms everybody's nerves. Another benefit that we have for our employees is we have a journal. It's called a dry book mobile tool. It helps all of our employees while they're at the job monitor what they're doing for drying. We also have what's called Xactimate system. It gives a measurement, so it gives them a bid with a price right away. We have it's called a 148 system. We return the call within an hour. We are at the site within 4 hours, and within 8 hours, we give them, like I mentioned, our Xactimate. We give them a scope of work. So that's how we stand out.
That's very exciting, Lori. That method that you mentioned is very comforting as a consumer. I can speak from experience. My mother had a dryer fire in our house when we were young, and the team that came in, they did much of what you mentioned. They remediated everything, and they took care of us from start to finish, and it was such a relief to have somebody come in and take that weight off of our shoulders. At the time, the apps weren't that advanced, so I can only imagine that you have that you've made it so much more convenient with the app and all the offerings that you guys use at SERVPRO.
That's right. We, as Jay and I talked, when it's, he does mostly residential, I do commercial, but we work together. When it's residential, it's very emotional. Say if it's a fire, so we look for, albums, photo albums, taking clothes, getting them, going the extra mile, getting them dry cleaned for them, that kind of thing. When it's commercial, of course, we want to get the business running as quickly as possible as well.
I see you guys are located in the Peachtree Corners, Norcross area. What is your area of service?
That's correct. I like to say that we're all over more than anywhere else. The SERVPRO industry's got well over 1,000 franchises, and we have 2 of them in the Norcross and Duluth area. But it's wherever referrals send us out to. We may get a call. It could be, we've been stretched from Dahlonega to Fairburn, Fayetteville, like I said, it's all over more than anywhere else. It's just, it's really pretty amazing what we do and how we get it done. There's nothing really complicated about what we do, but when we show up, it's a lot on people, whether it's a residential or commercial business. The first thing you've got to do is listen. Because, the first thing is safety, whether it's a home, whether it's a water loss, slip and falls, fire, electrical, things like that. The first thing we have to do is figure that out. But a good example of that's like in a commercial business. When we get there, it's safe to go in. If it's a water loss or fire, then we've got to determine where we need to start. That may be totally different from what that business owner needs. So you've got to really listen, ask the right questions, find out. And it's all about them. It's trying to help build continuity back in somebody's life or some type of calm. And you've got to listen to find out where that is. If you can help them get some kind of calm or continuity back in their business, in their home. A good example, I was in a customer's home and they had a fire, not a lot of charring in the kitchen and things, but going over some things, the mom stopped right in the middle of it, asking great questions, and all of a sudden she goes, "Where am I going to feed my kids in the morning?" Wow. Well, you know what? At that point in time, that is the most important thing. So I said, listen, I can go back, get some of this stuff in the system, call, make sure our guys are on the way. When they're going to arrive, I'll come back in a few. You start figuring that out. And also, if I need to go get Chick-fil-A or something, that type of thing, it's all about them.
Well, customer service, going the extra mile, perhaps.
And I hear a lot
Absolutely.
of empathy in the way that you're describing your service, both from you and Lori. So that
I like to restore hope when hope is gone.
I like that.
There's your catchphrase right there.
Yeah.
That's it.
That's her catchphase.
Yeah.
You can't use it.
I love my job. I get to help people every day. And I probably spend 70% of my time giving people information, whether they should file a claim or not. And that's really important, with the way the insurance business is nowadays. It's get them good information and let them make a decision. I tell them all the time, number one is to slow down, take your time. We're the ones that are going to move fast when we get started. And number two, it's your show. It's your rodeo. Mm-hmm. If you want us to do the work, awesome. We love it. But it's still all about them and helping them make good decisions in that process.
I think it's comforting as well, Jay, that I like to call us the one-stop emergency shop. We start, if the file has not been claimed with the insurance, we will help. There's some elderly people we work with, or some people just don't have the time. We do that. We work with the adjuster all the way until their contents are back in their home or their business. So, and we do, like Jay said, we do from the very beginning, we do the mitigation, we do the cleanup, and the reconstruction. So we really are the one-stop shop.
Tell me a little bit about, I know eco-friendly is really big now, and a lot of remediation companies pride themselves on the eco-friendly manner in which they remediate. Do you guys take any special precautions, or are there any examples that you could give us in that world?
Yeah, as far as like cleaning products, even when we bring them back to our warehouse, and that's a good point too. So when we're pulling items out of there, logging them in, they come back to our about a 40,000 square foot warehouse that's environmentally controlled. You know, it's conditioned air, so if it's summertime, winter, you've got heat in there. And all the products that we use, in certain situations there may not be some, but they're all environmentally friendly to pets, homes. There's a couple of them that don't bother anybody, but some of them have some smells that I just can't. It doesn't bother anybody else but me, and I don't know why. You know, maybe it's because I grew up on a farm and
You're used to it.
used to some things like that, but not quite that far. But yeah, there's a lot of products that we have out there, and a lot of it's what's really neat is the time and effort that SERVPRO puts into developing those products, because again, it's over 50 years of experience, and a lot of money goes into that development, because it's better for the people, it's better for your customers, it's better for the environment.
Tell us.
I'm sorry,
Lori.
that content warehouse is right behind our office in Norcross. So, like you said, it's a controlled environment. We do 3 different phases. Like we help with the move out phase, with the cleaning phase, and also the move back phase. So,
That's exciting.
yeah.
So it's comforting to know that all your items are safe and secure, and that
Correct.
they're being taken care of while everything
While
is
the
going
adjuster's looking
underway.
correct.
Absolutely, yes.
Tell us a little bit about the ownership for your group specifically. I know the elusive Eddie is the one who oversees
Eddie
both
Osmond's the owner.
the Duluth and the Norcross location. Are those the only 2 underneath that umbrella of ownership?
That's correct.
Okay.
Yes. Again, it's
Yeah.
relationship based. Those are our zip codes, but if somebody calls us, we get there. So we drive around all day long, pretty much, don't we, Jay?
Put some
Yeah,
miles on
I'm-
those
I'm
cars.
I'm trying to remember the commercial. What was it like? Was it E.F. Hutton or whatever? You know, it's like whenever he speaks, you know, people
listens,
listen.
Yeah.
right.
I'm drawing a blank here, but when Eddie talks, he's been in this business, in the insurance business, for many years, and when he talks, it's just it's kind of how we approach things. It's a calm, it's methodical, you know, and it has to be. One of the keys to all of this is, like I said, it's not complicated what we do, it's just a lot. But our goal is to maintain the integrity of that insurance policy too. So right off the bat, we start trying to communicate with the insurance company, hey, we need to get this approved, I need approval for this and that. And if you can do that and talk to them intelligently, you can get things moving a lot faster. So it's a whole lot on somebody that has a loss, whether it's residential or commercial. It's a lot to absorb all at once.
It's good to educate the customer as you're going along with the adjuster from the beginning to the end.
Tell us a little bit about a project that you've recently completed, something that you're proud of, a commercial project, or something that you're working on currently.
I'll tell you one of the most interesting ones that I had. Going to work, I'm a morning person, so it's a good thing we did this. It's a good thing we did this morning, because 3 or 4 o'clock my brain's gone. Driving to work, I got a call, referral source, with one of the TV stations here, and it was a fire in a church. And so I got there. They said the groundskeeper would be there pretty soon. And, you know, it was a little after 8. And, I mean, I got there probably about 6:30, 6:45, somewhere around there. So I waited. He called his insurance agent, told him what had gone. You know, a young kid had found some matches the evening before. So anyway, fire department had already gone. And so he said, okay, you guys can go ahead and get started. We walked through the building. It was on the end of the gym. Show me where the fire was. And I said, okay, I've got some tape, caution tape. We need to get this sealed off, because not only the fire investigators, the insurance companies want to do their investigation and determine a CO, a cause of origin. So we're walking back out, and there was a rack of chairs there, and we stepped out a little bit further, and he said, well, here's the other challenge we have. And it was 15 tagged, cable-locked voting boxes. So now y'all can guess this was on a Monday. So that means that thing opens up at 7 o'clock in the morning,
Wow.
Tuesday morning. My boss is texting me, calling, trying to find out what's going on, and I just texted him back. I said, you're going to have to give me some time. I need to get this under control. And things just, I don't know what it is that slows down for me. And so I called the adjuster and I told him what was going on, and he said, "What do you need?" And I said, "Well, first of all, we got to get some power here, and we're going to have to back up because they're going to have to be running at 7 o'clock in the morning." And we got them back up and running at 7 a.m. and the voting booth open.
Wow.
It's crazy.
Amen to that.
It's always different. It's so dynamic and different.
I'll tell you, Jay, just listening to you, you're calming me down, and I'm not having an emergency right now. And I would think,
right now,
Lori, as the commercial marketing director, part of your job is bringing in new business and so forth. I'm guessing you're getting a lot of referrals just from people that have worked with Jay and worked with SERVPRO in the past.
I have. I've been doing this for 5 months, this particular job, and I've been with SERVPRO longer. But I've had some vandalism jobs where some kids, some crazy people started fires and kind of stepped into that, a church and then a HOA. So it calms the managers down and the people in the church clergy, because they're panicked. So we go in and clean it up, and no job is too big or too small for us. So.
And I see empathy in both of you, and that speaks very loudly. I can imagine that it serves you well in your profession and that your clients appreciate that as well.
Well, thank you. I love my job. I love helping people. Sometimes it's hard to get a smile out of them, but, in the end, that's our goal.
Lori Mullee and Jay Smith with SERVPRO. For those that would like to, say, look into your services, hopefully they don't need your services. I mean, that would be a perfect world, but when emergencies happen and bad things happen and they do need restoration or whatever, what's the best way to reach out to you and find out more about all the services you provide?
Our website is SERVPROnorcross.com, and our number is 770-858-5000. That's 770-858-5000. One of the things about this is that if you have something that you're questioning that you need to make a claim, now if you're walking in 2 inches of water in your basement, go ahead and call me. I'm on my way. And 9 times out of 10, unless I'm already at a site, I will be there. But give us a shout. I mean, we're going to come take a look at it and try to get you information to make a good decision before you file that claim.
I bet you will. You can ask for Lori or Jay, and you can also catch Lori at the majority of the networking events. That's where she and I first met and became quite good buds.
Yes. We also carry 2 phones around, so we have our personal phones as well. Just Google us, and they'll connect you with us.
Great. Thank you so much for joining us today on Gwinnett Business Radio.
Thank
you very much.
Before we go on to our next guest, Amanda, I want to remind you about love. It's what makes a Subaru a Subaru. Get top savings and enjoy their hassle-free experience at Subaru of Gwinnett, where people sell cars. Visit SubaruofGwinnett.com and join the family today. Come on in and see the difference. If you're already a Subaruist, then follow Subaru of Gwinnett's Facebook page for the latest offers, news, and community events. And a reminder, this is a spooktacular episode of Gwinnett Business Radio. Just for you again. We'll be handing out candy after the show. Joining us now from, and if I'm saying this wrong,
I wrote it out phonetically for you.
Maestral Solutions or Maestral?
Now roll your R.
Yeah, Maestral.
Now say it, Maria.
Maestral.
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 She says it the best.
Yeah, Maria says it much better.
Frank Torres is the gentleman. Luisa Pineda is the lady that you just heard. And
Maria is the business development side, and Frank is the COO.
Ooh, okay. Very impressive. Tell us all about your company and what you do.
Sure. Maestral is a software development company based here in Atlanta. We've been here for the last 15 years. We work primarily with software product companies as well as tech-enabled service companies. And as a professional services company, we don't have IP ourselves, but we help our clients build their IP.
You mentioned tech-enabled software, and that's a pretty large space. Maybe you can unpack what sets you apart from your competition in that world.
Yes. So basically, some of the main differences come from when you see software development companies. A lot of that, what they offer is staff augmentation. And there is a big difference between a staff augmentation and software development partner. So a staff augmentation strictly provides an individual with a specified set of skills or knowledge, and a software development partner provides a team of individuals that work together and they own some aspect of the software delivery. So the development partner brings experience around the process, two tables in addition to individual talent. So it's not only provide the person, the talent, but we provide an entire team. We provide the expertise and to guide them through the development process and to take responsibility that they shine in their product.
So it's a one-stop shop.
Yes.
That's exciting.
Yes.
Yeah, that's right. So Maestral has, the leadership within Maestral, all of us have been on the other side of the table. So we've been either part of startups and been responsible for building products, or have worked within organizations where we own that development. So, as a purchasing of those services, when we moved to Maestral, we've now structured those engagements in the way that we would want to be engaged, and just receiving straight stack augmentation, there's value there because oftentimes clients need capacity. But what we want to do and what we find much more interesting is bringing that expertise and experience in building products and software and adding that to the talent that we're actually providing.
Frank and Maria, talk about the types of companies that you're working with and the problems that you're solving, if you maybe even want to give a few examples.
Sure. So we, like I said, they're often software product companies themselves. And so as they're a software product company, maybe either in the inception and they're trying to build that product, or they are working on their next generation version of their product, they are often challenged with finding individuals who are skilled enough and knowledgeable in the technologies that they want to use. Mm-hmm. And then additionally, struggling with finding individuals so that they have enough capacity that they can actually deliver on their roadmaps. And so that's where we really fit, is we plug into their development organization, and we really truly do become a partner in getting those products and those platforms built and delivered.
I like that analogy that you just mentioned right there, roadmap. That leads me to believe that not only do you participate in the influence, but that you're going to be with me along the way, that we're going to travel down this road to success together.
That's right. So I think that for us, that's really part of finding that client fit for us, and that is that they have this extended backlog. They have this roadmap that extends 12, 18 months, and we really do want to plug in and help them to deliver that, and then and sharing the successes once we hit those milestones.
So you talk about engaging with your clients, and that's one way you're kind of with them for the ride, as Amanda said, and that's wonderful. Are there other ways that you engage with your clients?
So yes, so we do have a deep understanding of agile software development process, IoT, data science, and cloud. So we help them navigate those waters based on not only for the product development piece, but also to guide them through the whole agile approach, how to transform into an agile organization. So we're not only like helping with the work, but we're also guiding them through the best practices.
Yeah, and if you look back through the history of software development, for a while there, especially in the 90s, to some degree it was the inmates running the asylum. So it was really the engineers and the developers deciding how to build the software, how to meet those requirements, and then delivering that software to the users, and then would have to accompany that. There would have to be extensive training and documentation on how to use the software. So, primarily, possibly thanks to Steve Jobs, there was really a focus on user-centered design and considering the actual user and the consumer of that product up front. And so we recognized those changes were happening within the industry and focused a lot on developing out our user experience design practice. So oftentimes we're now engaging much earlier in the process and helping to ideate and really shape the vision of the product along with actually building it and delivering on the back end.
I want to back up just for a moment, if I may. You had mentioned a variety of things, including augmentation of staff. Maybe you can expand a little bit about the staff augmentation versus engaging in a product development partner.
Yeah, so that was again speaking to the way our clients are going to try to solve the problem of building up capacity and talent. Oftentimes, and a lot of it has to do with their maturity internally too. So they may only look for just finding, to some degree, butts and seats. They'll drive the ship. They just want to find people and stick them in. And so there are many providers or people in our space who focus on delivering those services in that way. But
do you source that staff, or is it someone that you include in the contractual phase, or do you metamorphosize one of their existing employees?
We do not do that. So we actually steer clear of staff augmentation, mostly because, honestly, it's not interesting for us. I mean, we enjoy building software. We want to have more of take a greater ownership in the vision and then actually delivering it. So we really want to provide some of the ancillary services that go along with the just development. So, we're, like I mentioned before, focused on that user experience design, as well as providing the process management, Scrum Masters, and some of the expertise in actually delivering. So we want to do more than just put an individual on site or work directly to start banging out code.
That's a fun word to say, Scrum. Tell me a little bit about the way that you're involved in the technology community. I will say that Maria and I met at a BPM tag organized event not too long ago that was hosted at First Data, sponsored by Go Procure. And she and I hit it off almost instantly by nature. And we were in the company of many leading tech moguls. So talk a little bit about your involvement in the tech world and what you do to get your name out there.
Yeah, so
and to piggyback on that, I'm assuming that's how you grow the business and find new customers.
Yes, that's right. That's right. So the approach that we are taking is we want to really get involved with the community. We believe that the business is going to grow naturally just by adding value to the community, be part of it, understand what they're going through. And so that's really one of the main things that we are focusing on. So, for example, with TAG, I've been a TAG member, and now we're looking into collaborating more with TAG, Technology Association of Georgia, and also we are involved with WIT, Women in Technology. So we do sponsor WIT, and that was one of the first things I did when I started working with Maestral, and that's definitely been also we are more than 30% women in our organization. Yes, so that is way above average of a lot of IT, especially organizations. Yeah. So we're very proud of that. And again, it comes by building relationships with the community, collaborate, add value, and then business naturally will come from that.
Who would you say your target market is out there? Any maybe a corporation with X amount of employees that handles a specific arena? Give me an example.
We've worked with companies of all sizes. I mean, we do have some large enterprise clients. We work very closely with a local telecom here in Atlanta, as well as done some work in the point of sale space with another large Atlanta client. But we've also worked with smaller companies, typically not getting engaged, pre-money. They're usually funded startups if we're involved in a startup, so we don't necessarily have a target around company size so much as nor industry to some extent. I mean, we bring
it's
the
more
knowledge
based on maturity of the company.
Well, and then also just the need for some guidance and help in delivering on their technology plans. So, so it's when we engage with clients, especially in particular verticals, we're not bringing expertise within that vertical. We're working with them, and they're the experts within that industry. We just bring the knowledge and ability to build the software that's going to enable them to deliver on their strategies.
And what is your geography? Are you guys local to Atlanta, or are you worldwide? Are you?
So we're headquartered here in Atlanta, and we do have our main development center in Sarajevo, Bosnia. We have another office in Mostar, Bosnia, and we are opening a new office in Amsterdam now. So we're growing globally. And one of the things we see is there is a global demand for talent, right? We see that in all the companies. They're looking for talent, but really the talent is, if it's not local, we can also expand globally and look all over the world. Why not, right?
Yeah.
So that's
and having I believe you said you were trilingual, didn't you, when we met? Multilingual business development. Beautiful young lady on staff surely helps drive business through the door.
That's right.
Well, I want to thank both of you for joining us here. Maestral Solutions. Say it, Marie. You say it so much nicer than I do.
Maestral Solutions.
Oh, that just sounds so pretty. Maria and Frank, for those that would like to find out more about your services and look into all the things that you do, where would they find that information?
So you can visit our website, www.maestralsolutions.com, or you can just give me a call, 470-399-9838.
And for those that are spelling challenged, spell that out.
Yeah.
Maestral.
Yeah, spell Maestral Solutions.
So Maestral is Maestral maestralsolutions.com.
Great. Thank you so much for joining us.
All right. Thank you for having us.
Thank you very much.
I want to thank Maria and Frank for joining us. Also, Lori and Jay from SERVPRO as well. A reminder, you can listen to the show anytime you want, 24/7, by going to businessradiox.com, select the Gwinnett Studio, and then click on Gwinnett Business Radio.
And if you aren't already following us on social media, please do so on Facebook, LinkedIn, and Twitter at Gwinnett Radio X.
All right. I want to thank our listeners. Want to thank our guests. Want to thank you, Amanda, for a spooktacular edition. And we want to thank Duffy for filling in and working the board today and getting us on the air. Thanks to Duffy. So for all of us, we will see you next time here on Gwinnett Business Radio.